Welcome back to An Athlete's Journey. I am your host, Travis Reed, on the Believe Network. Today, I have a special guest, another one of those California legends, man. Like, we got so many. I keep telling y'all, person that I played with, person that I looked up to. He was a little bit older than me. He was like the first Jason Kidd way back in the day. He was like 6'3" PG, silky smooth. Had jumper, had handles. You get to the basket, could pass, could do it all. You know what I'm saying? I was a fan. Like I said, he doesn't remember this. We was just talking about it, but I remember we was in Vegas in the Easter Classic, and like he basically single-handedly got his team to win the championship, scoring like 38 in the final. And I was like, man, who is this dude? And I was like, oh, that's Olujimi, man. You sweet. So, man, like I said, I appreciate him coming on. You know, like I said, he's always been like a good person, big bro to me, man. So I appreciate you, Lou.
Appreciate you for having me, dog.
No, man, anytime, man. Like I said, he's like I said, when I play with him, I'll always learn how to keep my hands up when I run the court. But okay, yeah. Stuff was coming out of nowhere. He was like magic, bro. So I was like, okay, yeah, okay, layup. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, Luge, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into it. How'd your basketball journey start?
Basketball journey started. It was about fifth grade. Actually started in third grade. I was playing at my school in Inglewood, Highland Elementary. I was just a tall, slinky kid out there. They wanted me to play.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't have any interest in it, but there was always a crowd around the court, elementary school basketball outside. Started playing and started getting noticed a little bit. Went from there to playing at Darby Park in Inglewood. And all the little coaches, they started wanting me. Obviously, I was the oldest. I was the tallest kid my age, by far, and they started working with me, and I started going to Michael Cooper's camp about fourth, fifth grade at the same time. And I would come back after the summer a little better every year. You know what I mean? And I started watching basketball on TV. Of course, in Inglewood, I'm a big Laker fan.
Of course.
Started watching Magic. And I was like, I don't want to be Kareem. I want to be Magic. You know what I mean? I don't have to score the buckets. I just want to make the nice pass and have the crowd going. So then from there, started traveling ball. And I got with Harold Jones, because his family basically ran Darby. And I started playing with him. And that was when K-Swiss first got to be K-Swiss, started off before it got big.
Right. Shout out to Thad and them. Like I said, K-Swiss. I remember K-Swiss. I played with him as well. So yeah.
Right. And played with them a couple years, and whatever Thad and Harold's difference were, the team kind of split. I decided to go with Harold, and some folks went with that. Wasn't a bad thing, I guess they just grew, apart. And so we went from there. Then I started playing at Victoria Park.
I know, yeah, man. Woo!
Person,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Did that, and it was just all uphill from there. You know what I mean? It was a grind, but I started getting noticed, and then they had the Cowhide magazine.
Yeah,
then started to be competitive. You know what I mean? I wanted to be better than all my friends that was playing. And,
no, definitely.
And then from there, I got noticed by PTI. Pat Barrett. They asked me to go to the Nationals with them. And I ended up not going the first year, but I still decided to play with them. Well, my dad decided. And played with them. And from there, it just launched into something totally different. You know what I mean? It was a love for the game really started, you know what I mean? Because I seen, PTI, that was the biggest thing back then. Nobody could beat them.
Yeah.
So now I'm a part of this team, and I'm getting the love that I wanted, when I was a kid, the Magic Johnson love, the Laker love. And it was big, and I just stayed with that team. I also always played with Harold's teams. He had Adidas teams, all types of little teams. We all played. Me, Jay Hart, we kind of stayed together with whichever team we played on. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, came the Nike camps, and then actually before that, my dad decided to move to Orange County.
Yeah.
Into the modern day.
Yep.
I thought it was the worst decision ever back then.
Did you go to modern day for that year, or?
You did go freshman year.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, I didn't know. I remember when you transferred from modern day, but I didn't know if you had, Anyway,
ended up going there. We had a good year. Won CIF, lost to go to state when Chris Johnson hit the shot at the buzzer, sports arena, and still played with them after that. And then come sophomore year, beginning of the school year, I was like, I've sacrificed enough. I was like, I'm still a kid, and they're trying to make you shave this, that, and the other. So, we're paying for this. You know what I mean? It's like, it's private school.
Right.
Like, it's not me. And there was all types of different people I wanted to play with, different schools I wanted to play at. And my dad was like, we're not moving.
Right.
So you want to leave there, you can go down the street from there, Santa Ana Valley. It was literally 3 or 4 blocks from modern day.
Okay.
And went there. Shay checked into modern day right after that.
Yep. I remember that. Like I said,
kicking myself in my ass. Like,
Yep. Because I remember that because we played them that year in the CIF. Shay went there. Obviously, Burgess, Kevin Augustine, all the people in my group, they all went to modern day that year. I remember that.
I was definitely hurt by that, but it just made me more hungry. It made me want to play more. Like, okay, I don't know why I'm mad. Now it's my team. It's not our team.
Right.
And we had a great year. Lost in the semis, CIF, and then came the Nike camps and all the other big stuff. And long story short, it was over. Like, next thing you know, it's senior year. What am I gonna do? I committed to UCLA my sophomore year. So it was like I already had my college on lock where I wanted to go. Couldn't pass the SAT.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, and I could have passed it. I don't think I took it seriously enough. You go through enough time where things are handed to you. You know what I mean? And not so much handed to you because we paid the cost. We played, we practiced, we did our part. But we started getting the shoes and everything else. And it was like, okay, I didn't have to work too hard for that grade in Spanish either. So the wheels start turning.
Right.
Hopefully something's gonna happen for an SAT.
No, for sure, man. I think.
And, obviously, it didn't happen. And so I went to a couple of JCs. Like we discussed earlier, I just kind of started fading away from the basketball, from the love. You know what I mean? And when I decided I wanted to play again, it started becoming harder. Because everybody else done passed me up now.
Right. Right.
So it was harder to play and harder to get that love back, that willing to sacrifice all the time and the energy. And, my senior year in high school, my oldest child was born, my daughter. And so, that kind of shook me, you know what I mean?
Right.
So again, like I said, tried the JC thing for a minute. That never worked out for me. So, I got to that point to where it was like, every day now I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. I'm a young adult. I don't live with moms or pops. I'm on my own. So now I'm just trying to make ends meet, and I got a kid. 2 years out of high school, I had 2 kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now it's not my love for basketball, it's my love for my kids. Everything else, just took the front seat.
I got you.
And I just stopped watching basketball, stopped going to gyms. It was like I broke my own heart. You know what I mean? I dumped myself. I cheated on myself. You know what I mean? And took a long time to get over it. and my oldest daughter, she was playing basketball for a while, and I think she ran into that same issue as me, kind of, without having kids, just fell out of it. So just recently, my son, he started playing, so now I'm back in the gyms. You know what I mean?
Which
And
it makes sense, man. Man, like I would say, like, when I retired or whatever, like I didn't, I was still a little bitter, towards the game in a way. So like I couldn't watch the game, like I had to step away from it to kind of evaluate myself without it, because like, we as hoopers, especially if we play at a high level, it's hard to evaluate yourself without it, without ball. I think that I didn't know, I played from 5 to 33, 28 years. And when I retired at 33, I was like, man, what am I doing with my life? Because like yourself, I didn't have 2 kids. I just had 1. He was like, my son was 3 at the time. And he was just like, he would obviously wanted to provide for him, but also not knowing what the hell. Do I want to coach? Do I want to train? I was like, heck no, I don't want nothing to do with basketball.
Right.
No, yep. I'm gonna just go into something different. You know what I'm saying? But I want the fans to kind of know you a little bit. So I want to rewind it a little bit. Growing up, were you interested in playing any other sports besides basketball?
I liked baseball a little bit for a while in junior high school. Played a little bit in Inglewood. I played two years. It was actually pretty good. I was a pitcher and a shortstop. But pretty much that was it. My dad had me locked in on basketball. I wanted to play football. He said, no. You can watch from the sideline, in the stands. You can't play.
No, I got you.
And back then it was that was it.
Right.
You wouldn't tell me why, nothing else. But when you see a game on TV, when I seen Joe Theismann get hurt, you know what I'm saying?
Then now I know. I got you. Obviously, you play in AAU. We played at a high level. I played with you. You know what I'm saying? We won things together. We won Vegas together. You know what I'm saying? And so I would say, in AAU, what was your most memorable moment playing in the AAU, in that time, where I always tell anybody you had to earn your name back then. So Luru had a big name. He earned his name from like 7th grade to all the way through high school, because like it wasn't no YouTube, was no clips. You had to earn your name by word of mouth. So what would you say your most memorable moment was playing AAU growing up?
AAU, not high school, right? AAU.
AAU, then high school. That was gonna be my second question. First AAU though.
My most memorable moment. That's a good question.
You could do high school first and come back.
I would have to say memorable. It wouldn't be like my biggest game. But it would be that the game we played at. Everybody always talks about the Vegas game. So I'll talk about a game at Nike camp when we played Kevin Garnett, Mann Mercer. They stacked the squad. Right. And we were all underclassmen pretty much. So it was me, Jelani McCoy, Shay, I believe Danny Walker was on our team. Were you there?
No, I wasn't on that. I came the next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that squad right there, and we played them in the Bulls training facility, and the championship game was always supposed to be on ESPN. We played them in the semis, and we went to work on them. We went to work. I mean, if I would have counted my assists that game, I had to at least have 17. Like, it was just, Corey Benjamin was on my team.
Okay.
So I had, Corey out there. He was going to cherry pick the whole game. Which was fine by me, because I'm getting the assist at least. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Between him cherry picking, throwing lobs to Shay, hitting Danny for threes or whatnot, and then sliding in a couple points, that was a good time for me.
Right.
That was a good time, most memorable.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, Nike camp, We won it the next year. No, 2 years from then. Like I was on a team with like Corey. I was on a team with Corey, Mike Bibby, Kenny Bruner, Jason Thomas. I forgot who else, but we was all on the same California team. They put a lot of us on the same team.
Right.
And like I said, that's when Corey became, big dog, McDonald's on America, because Mike Bibby just kept feeding him. He was killing that camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so what was your most memorable moment in high school?
High school. Would have to be this game. Who did we play? I'm not gonna say the Crenshaw game. That would be for all the wrong reasons too. I would say the name of that team. We played a team from like near Pasadena or something. That was when we lost in the semifinals my sophomore year. I had food poisoning the night before. I was sick, literally like shaking before the game or whatever, just throwing up everywhere and everything. And ended up with like 15 points in the last couple minutes and 36 for the game, but almost hit the game winner in a loss. But just for me, just to get through that game and then, put up good stats, that was definitely one of my most memorable. With team, especially,
No, of course, man. Like I said, like people don't realize, I feel like, because obviously when you left my today, like your team was good, but you should have been on that bigger stage, to show what you was as a person, man. Because I was like, man, people don't know how good Olujimi was, man. He was, like I said, like J Kidd, man, like 6'3", 6'4", point guard, diming people up, scoring. You do it all, man. I was always a fan.
Crazy thing is, I would prefer to get the assist than the point. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy. You don't hear that too much nowadays with these young kids. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Everybody wants to dunk on Instagram or the winning three and all that. I was definitely good with 10 assists and 8 points. I'd be cool.
Right. No. You was a pure point. Like I said, it's the last of a dying breed. I would say it's really only a couple. Maybe Chris Paul is probably obviously the last best one. Lonzo Ball, like Rajon Rondo, like those kind of guys.
See now, all those guys. Ask yourself, which one would you want to be your point?
Probably Chris Paul, because he can still score.
I knew you'd say that. I would go with Rondo.
Oh no, for me?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Rondo.
Rondo all day.
Rondo, yeah. Because like Anthony.
I've had that argument lots of times with people, and they're like,
Rondo, easy.
I'm like,
people wonder why Anthony Davis is different. Like he didn't when he had his best couple seasons. Rondo was his point guard in New Orleans and with the Lakers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, obviously things happen.
Shit he pulled in Boston was unbelievable. I was just like, this guy's not.
No, he's a different animal, man. Like I said, I love Rondo. Rondo be the best. I thought you just meant who was the best out of the three. I was like, nah, Rondo. Even though Chris Paul gets you the ball too. But not like Rondo.
It's just a different type of respect for a different type of game. You know what I mean? I like the edge. I like Rondo's edge. You don't see it coming because he's so quiet. You would think he's quiet. He's vocal out there. You know what I mean? He's running the show, and that's what I like. He ain't got to make a lot of noise. You know what I mean? He ain't got to like poke his chest out. Like I'm president of the Players Association. None of that shit. I came to play.
Right now, I got you.
Y'all want to squab? We can squab.
No, look, when he left hook Chris Paul right in the face. Oh, okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's never.
But he doesn't carry himself like that.
No.
Like, Chris Paul brought it to him. That's why I like him. When his left hand pass is just as clean as his right hand pass. He shoots like shit, but he shoots the right shot to where he'll hit it. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely, man. Like I said, because I was like, the funny thing, I forgot to mention to you, when y'all played Fontana against Corey, and then when y'all went out there and played, I was at that game in the stands. I was like one of the few dudes actually cheering for you. Like, yeah, let's get him loose. The niggas just looking at me like, who was you, nigga? Like you, I was like, oh, you my friend.
Right.
I forgot that, just to change the subject for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember
where he
that.
tried to jump from the free throw line in the game.
Yeah, well, he tried to do between the legs and missed it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was
embarrassing.
No, he's
I literally grabbed my big man at halftime by his shirt and held him against the wall. Like, man, do you not want to be here? You go home.
Right.
Seriously.
Stop letting this nigga dunk.
Yeah. he's the cherry picker, but he's not even having the cherry pick to dunk on y'all.
Right.
Coming in and dunking on y'all with disrespect. That was bad.
No, I mean, like I said, I remember that. I remember I was at that game. So, so obviously, you go, you're obviously big time recruited in high school, but I know that SAT was hard to pass.
Mm-hmm.
So when you went to the JCs, did you think like I'm gonna just come in for a year and then try to get to D1, or was already like I'm already kind of fading out of the basketball thing? You know what I'm saying?
Well, at first, what got my wheels spinning was like, okay, and I'm gonna be all the way honest. Coming into my senior year, I didn't even know who Kobe Bryant was.
Oh wow, okay.
I had no clue who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into senior year, I had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we never had played each other.
Right.
But then, senior year goes by, dude goes to the league.
Yep.
Like, okay. And my dad was getting calls overseas or whatever, my dad kept me pretty much shielded. After the UCLA thing happened, it was like, okay, you don't need to talk to nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know everything that was going on, but I was like, fuck it. I can do a year at JC and just try to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And was working out, burnt myself out. You know what I mean? At this point, I didn't partied, made sure I didn't miss no parties. I was still at every UCLA party. I mean, it was
right.
So the dream was still there, but like my body was just saying no,
Mm-hmm.
By then I broke both my ankles, just injury after injury.
Okay.
Like, you done did too much to your own body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I got you on that one.
It was a wrap,
No.
So just and like the conversations outside of the gym about basketball, about why I fucked up, or anybody else fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I didn't blame anybody at first, other than me. You know what I mean? But after enough time goes by and people keep feeding you shit, and they're like, well, it's such and such's fault because they did this for you and did that for you, and your dad took you out of Inglewood and he should have left you here, and you know what I mean? Like, it starts to get to you. I'm starting to believe this shit. Like, you know what? This is such and such's fault, and you know what I mean? They should have been harder on me, and I had to wake up from that dream, because in reality, it's all my fault, my parents' fault, and I don't really blame them either. I'm just saying, it starts at home. You can't blame an outside source. We weren't poor, you know what I mean? It wasn't like somebody else was funding my household, you know what I'm saying? So it was all on me, and I'm good with it some days now, and other days I'm not.
No, I got you. I mean, I think, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, because your story, your journey, man, is something that needs to be told, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, people need to know, because like, obviously, people, like I said, like you were like one of the top dudes in Cali, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, if you was one of the top dudes in Cali, you was real, because all the other top dudes were Shay, Jason and Jaron Collins, Barron, Paul Pierce, Toby Bailey, the big dudes. So like, like I said, I always wanted to get you on because I was like, man, Luru's story, needs to be told just like everybody else's story needs to be told. You know what I'm saying? So based off, your experience and everything that happened, man, what would be your like a best advice for like the next generation of Olujimi? Like, you know, obviously for your son or whatever the case is.
My best advice would be, you know, going through the process, you know what I mean? And whether it be good, whether it be bad, you know, trust the process, but don't trust everybody. You know what I mean? You got to stay close to your loved ones. You can't never let your head get so big to that you think that you as a 17-year-old kid has the answers, that you know more than what your elders know. You know what I mean? Stay close to home because you can't trust nobody.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, ask yourself, what did this person do to make me trust them? You know what I mean? Like, a motherfucker can buy you a car. That doesn't mean you have to trust them. You know what I mean? I can buy a car off a lot and they give me the best deal, but is the muffler gonna fall off when I hit the corner? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that shit ain't guaranteed.
No, you're right.
You know, and if I stop playing basketball, are you still gonna pay for my education? You know what I mean? Those are the real questions. You know, not like, is Nike your favorite shoe? Not what player do you look up to the most? You know what I mean? What are you gonna do for me when basketball's over?
That's true.
Didn't nobody offer me no free education when I said I didn't want to play no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But before it was, everybody was like, yeah, come here, yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, you know, because my dad used to always ask, so what happens if he gets injured? Is the scholarship still his? You know? Should have been. My question is, what happens if he doesn't play anymore? You know, just because the love is not there. He earned the scholarship before he got there because you gave it to him before he got there.
Yep.
Can he still go to school? And the answer is gonna be hell no.
They try to, you know, sugarcoat it. Well, you know, it's a year by year thing, and you know, it just kind of depends. They kind of dance around the question. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, but yeah, my best advice would be, you know, stay close to home. You know, keep your business to yourself. You know, your family business. You know, you got these coaches out there that they're listening. You know, if they hear that you and your mom don't get along or you and your dad don't get along, they're gonna play off of that shit. You know, they're gonna offer you something. You know,
no, definitely.
So, you know, just stick with your people. You know.
No,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I know, like I said, you being one of the top guards. I'm gonna go back a little bit. You being one of the top guards in the country. Like, did you go on recruiting trips and things like that to different schools, or?
Most of the trips that I went to were like, what do they call it when it's
unofficial?
Unofficial. Yeah.
Okay.
So I checked out Duke, North Carolina. I did go on a trip to New Mexico. I checked out Georgia Tech. You know, most of those things I just did for fun. I knew I wanted to go to UCLA. You know what I mean?
I got you.
And it was more my dad's dream for me to go there.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't mine, you know, but that's my dad, you know.
No, of course.
So that's where I wanted to go, you know. Now there may have been other coaches I wanted to play for.
Right.
But as far as school-wise, that was it for me, you know.
No, that's real. You know, it's the same my dad's dream, you know, for the UCLA thing.
Right, absolutely.
But, you know, because obviously everybody old school, you know, if you, obviously these young people don't know, but like Wooden was, my dad had me read the John Wooden Pyramid Success book when I was 10 years old, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like I wasn't going, if UCLA was recruiting me, there was no other school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, there was no like SC would had a chance because I was so close to home. But really, once UCLA was like, okay, we want him. Okay, don't worry, he's coming, you know. You know
I did do an unofficial to SC as well.
Okay.
I went up there. Me and Shay went the same time together.
Okay, yeah, see? It was cool. Like I said, like I went because I went to Long Beach State, Tennessee, UCLA, and Arizona. You know, those are my 4 trips. And so Arizona was cool. Actually, it was so cool.
Like Arizona, but I wanted to play against Bibby.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
I wanted to play against him. So
Yeah.
because we had played against each other so many times since kids, through high school. That's another one of my biggest games against him. But I had to play against him. And then Miles Simon's ass went there. I was like, oh hell yeah, I got to play against him.
Yeah.
I got to play against him. Man. Now I hate modern day. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got to go there.
No, I got you, my bro. I got you. And that's how, that's for sure. Like I actually committed because Hare got fired because of that situation. And then I committed to Arizona that next day, verbally, just verbally committed. And then like once Lavin hit me back, it was like, nah, it was really Coach Holden. Coach Holden was my biggest, he was like the person recruiting me heavy, and then Lavin, like came to one of my games, my senior year at the Pond. He went to the Pond.
Okay.
We played Long Beach Poly. We beat Holden came and we beat Long Beach Jordan, the defending CIF champs. And then we lost to Poly in the final. I remember that. But like, after that, I was like, I'm going to UCLA, ain't no question. But now, Luge, man, like I said, your story, man, I love it, man. Like I said, like it's always good to hear both the highs and the lows, And now the fact that you've come back, for the love of the game. I would say, like, my next question would be like, how long did you stay away from the game after you officially was like, I'm done with this, before you came back?
In the gyms and everything, and because when I first stopped, I was helping Pat work players out, Pat Barrett. I was in there for a minute. I would say maybe 18 years. Like seriously.
That's
I got tickets to the game. You want to go to this game? Why don't you want to go? Why does it matter? They're kids. I'm a grown-up. You know what I mean? And in all honesty, it was like, you go to the gyms and you see your peers, and what's the first question they ask? What are you doing there?
Yep.
It ain't basketball.
Nah, it ain't that. That'd be the last thing you be. No, I didn't.
I was away for a long time, and the first game that I can remember that I came and watched was what's the name? The ball.
Chino Hills.
Yes, I seen them against Modern Day at SC. That was the first game I really, really came back and watched. And I was like, man, these dudes shot 50 shots at halftime between the brothers. At halftime, they shot 54 shots between the two of them.
Oh, Lonzo and Jello. Lonzo and Jello. Yeah. Okay.
54 shots between the two of them by halftime. I was like, this is a joke. I mean, because it wasn't like they was hitting the shots.
Right.
Like, man, this is crazy. They're coming up past half court and launching.
Right. No, yeah.
The coach was telling them to do it. I don't even think it was their idea. The coach was like, no, you can read his lips. You shoot it.
The funny thing is, like, I think they won state that year. I think they won state. And then the next year when they got the little brother, they went undefeated. Right.
So they were killing, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't see it. I don't see it. Anybody can kill shooting that many shots, if you ask me.
No,
you're not a basketball player. You're a soccer player.
If you shoot 30 shots a game or whatever, of course you're gonna average 30.
Right. And then McKnight, he had what was that boy? Bo, who had a nice little jumper. They never gave him the ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is crazy. This is crazy. It's not the same.
No, basketball is so different than what we grew up in. It's real different. Like I said, I now it's like, back then I was a tweener because I was like, is he a 3, is he a 4, is he a 5, whatever the case is. Now that's celebrated, like, is he, like we want, everybody's a tweener. Everybody needs like that 3, 4, 5 kind of guy, like that Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard, whatever the kind of dude, to where like back then it was like 7-foot center, 6'10" power forward, 6'7", 3, you know, 6'6", 2, whatever, you know, 6'2", 1. So everything was like boom, boom, boom. But now it's not like that at all, you know.
Right.
You know, it's a different kind of game.
That center 7 feet bringing the ball up and calling
like Joker.
Calling
you
out
know?
the offense, running.
Yeah, like, you know, Joker getting 8 assists a game, 9 assists a game at the center spot. When do you see that? You know what I'm saying? You don't see that. You know what I'm saying? Centers is, you know, post, dominate, you know, make moves in the post. You know what I'm saying? Now they be having centers making all this money, like Rudy Gobert don't make no post moves. All they do is dunk.
That's why, like, when you were playing, when you started getting creative with the ball and you started putting it on the floor, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I had
There's
to.
a whole lot more to the game than just a big body down there. You know what I mean? Because you remember they used to post you up just, you were wide back then. Like, you know, nobody could stop you. You know what I'm saying? But then when you faced the basket, you had moves. You know what I'm
saying? No, it was a situation where, like, I remember in the NIT, you remember the NIT up at Long Beach State? It was at the, you know, at the gold mine. And I was playing with K-Swish, you know, and I remember Herrick was like, you know, told me, like, son, you are a great player, but you ain't gonna play at that size. You know, like, I was big still, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, you need to lose about 20 pounds. And so that was my goal, like, from my junior to my senior year, to lose like 20. And so, like, things had, you know, I got a little bit thinner, and then, you know, try to, you know, obviously had, you know, try to make moves and, like, do more other stuff, but besides, like, backing stuff in. Because he was saying, like, we have a 7-foot center right now, George Ziti, that will shut you down. You know, and I was like, all right, I mean, okay, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So, you know, but all right, you know, so I definitely try to improve myself. Because, like I said, I used to watch you, I used to watch all the older kids, you know, how they made moves, how you made passes, you know, how you hold shield dudes off, you know, left, right hand, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I to try to take a little bit off of all my OGs, if you want to say, and put it, you know, in my game to try to make myself better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I want to say, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, big bro. Man, I appreciate it, Luz, man. You know, I got one more question for you. You know, at some point, you know, throughout our career or our life, we all go through them low points, man. We were just talking about it. You know, how did you get out of your low point, man? Like, it was a guy, was it your family? Was it a mix of both? You know, how did you get out of that?
How did I get out of it?
Yeah. What did you do? How did you handle it? How did you get out of it?
I just got out of it 2.5 years ago. I had moved away. You know, I moved to Dallas, and I left my kids here. You know, it was that time where I had to focus on me. You know what I mean? Like, getting my shit together, getting myself together.
Right.
You know, putting some shit behind me. You know, and putting things that need to be in front of me, you know, future goals and whatnot. And like I said, that was just recently, you know, 2.5 years. So I would say, you know, I just turned to family, you know, and obviously God, you know, but I needed a break. You know, I never lived outside of Cali, you know, so it was Dallas being as boring as it is. I didn't know nobody. I was finally somewhere where I didn't have to be nobody else. I was able to just be me without being me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a Olujimi man that used to play basketball. You know, it wasn't Olujimi man. I was just your next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And you don't understand how much that does for you when you're more than half of your life. You have to worry about where you're going, what you're doing when you're there, whose mom's gonna see you. You know what I mean? All the shit that came with it, you know, without even going pro.
Right.
You're still living that life that's a secret life, pretty much, you know. You gotta stay out of trouble. Why? Not because your mama's gonna be mad at you, you know, because this coach might see you, this parent might see, you know, again, like that. So it was good for me, you know. And I got to spend some time with my mom that I never was able to spend with her coming up, my life was just basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In my younger years.
Mm-hmm.
And like I
No.
said, my dad raised me, so mom seen me, when I wasn't playing or if she was at a game. That's what it was. Just getting away and focusing on me.
Mm-hmm.
Just me, nothing else. I couldn't make anything else better for anybody else, my kids, if I wasn't okay.
Yeah, people forget that. I think, you have to make yourself the best version of yourself so you can help other people,
Right.
Yeah, right. So when you grinding for yourself, you not only grinding for yourself, you grind for the other people, but you really trying to get yourself right.
Right.
It
felt good, like being able to go some Christmas party or what have you, whatever, and you're not talking about yourself or basketball, And like I said, this is my first interview like this I've done, and I've turned down a lot because I just, just how do you tell the story without putting some bullshit on top of it? You know what I mean? You get so tired, man. I'm 44.
Right.
So you're being coached what to say, what not to say, who to say it about, who not to say it about, from what, 16 on up?
Maybe even younger, yeah.
Right. It's just shit. That shit is a headache,
No, yeah, like I remember, like I said, people, like I want to tell people, like the listening audience right here, this dude was like kissing babies when he was like 13, 14 years old, man. I seen it. Like I'm not putting no cap or whatever they say now or gassing it. Him and Shay was the only two dudes I saw in high school kissing people's babies. I'm like, wait, they want you to kiss their baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood that, but like whatever. But yeah, so that was kind of funny to me. I always said that was like, that's how big it was for, y'all got in high school. Y'all were like rock stars. Like Cal High Sports was the book. That was our Sports Illustrated for California. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was in Cal High Sports, you was doing big things, And so like, I was like, man, Cal High Sports is real.
And it was Cal High Sports was so good because it was like everybody's position on the list, top 5, top 10, whatever it is.
Yep.
Those were your friends.
Yes.
These were people you played against from 5th grade all the way up. It just made it that much better. Everybody that I wanted to be better than, everybody I wanted to play against and have a good game against, they were all my real friends, pretty much.
Yep.
From at a young age. So, I mean, that's what I think set us apart. Maybe not so. New York is kind of the same way.
Right.
Crosstown rivalry is a boy that you grew up with, So that's what's up. I miss Cal High Sports being there,
Yeah. No,
and the kids don't have that. All they got is Instagram now.
Yep. I mean, pretty much, like I said, guys, everybody was looking for that next week issue to see what the rankings was or who was in it. Whatever story it was. I mean, when I first saw it, my first one was like, I saw Jason and Jaren, they were in it. They were talking about ARC and the Collins brothers and all that, you know what I'm saying? And they talked about y'all, PTI and all that stuff, how Shane and won this, national championship. I'm like, I'm a kid from the city.
Right.
And then when I played with my dad's team, Boys and Girls Club team at Victoria Park. And we was winning all the tournaments in the city. And then we played at Victoria Park. We played y'all, man, first game. Shit, man, like it was blowout. We lost by like 40 points. And it was me and my dad realized, okay, there's another level to this. Like, because people I would tell everybody right now, anybody who was anybody had any game back then, you was in Victoria Park or you was at North Hollywood with ARC. It was one of the two. There was nothing else that was big. Now, everybody was at Victoria Park. Like I saw Toby Bailey, I saw yourself, I saw Charles O'Bannon, Tracy Murray, Edelman, like all these guys, what I'm saying? Cameron Murray, Shay, Corey, like I saw all those guys at Victoria. That's when you earn. That's what I said. You earned your name. You couldn't front. There was no fronting.
No, and that little ass gym. I thought it was so big when we were kids.
Yeah, but it was little.
I can touch both sides of the gym.
As a kid, you'd be thinking
this
it's
games we
humongous.
played in here. Like my dad would just drop me off up there in the morning. We'd have 2 or 3 games. I'd be at Victoria Park all day.
Yep.
Playing carts at the golf course across the street. I mean, whatever. He was there.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. Like I said, for me, it was like just to play against all the competition older, like you guys, and then even my age group. So that was, a great thing for me. I enjoy all my time, up there, man. And just growing up in California, playing, doing that whole AAU thing meant a lot to me. So, I was like, I used to think about that when I was overseas. I'm like, this dude's good. He ain't good as Olujimi was. You know what I'm saying? This dude, he ain't good as Shea was. He ain't good as Gino. Like, it was like that. So, well, I want to say thank you. Like I said, once again, Luge, man, I appreciate you coming on, my brother. Please give everybody your information so they can, find you on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever it is you're doing that you want to shout out.
I don't even know my Instagram, man. Luru Mann. I think that's it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lurujimi.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Same on Facebook?
Yep.
Yeah, same on Facebook. So yeah, like I said, man, like I appreciate you, brother. Like I said, you are a great story and a great triumph story to all these kids that even if they don't make it to the NBA or whatever the case is, they still can be the best version of themselves, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's the main goal. Like for me, it's like, yeah, I didn't make the NBA. That's okay. I'm still the best me that I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
absolutely.
Well,
tell them kids stop watching Instagram and thinking them fools is that good because them niggas ain't.
Exactly.
It's
a highlight. It just shows them scoring like 8 points.
Right. Those are free highlights. Everybody telling me you need to have your son put more videos on Instagram and this and that. I'm like, for what? Those is highlights.
Right.
Coaches don't come to the gym no more and watch.
They just pop on Instagram like, oh, he got 3 dunks.
Yeah.
2 dunks or whatever. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
He missed 10 free throws.
Right, exactly, man, exactly. Well, you can find me at Travis W. Reed on Instagram, REED. Also on Facebook, Travis W. Reed. I post all my social media on there on both sites, Also on the Believe Network, shout out to Believe, you can catch all my stuff on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts is on there, even Podbean. Also, you can catch me YouTube, look at my stories and my page if you want to catch my YouTube, because this interview along with others will be on YouTube as well. And any other things, like if you're on LinkedIn, you can find me, Travis Reed, on LinkedIn. So, whatever you want, whatever you guys. So, like I said, this interview will be coming up pretty soon. First on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and then it'll be on YouTube as well. So you can check the video of this too. So, like I said, thank you, Luge. Appreciate it, brother. And like I said, see y'all next week. Peace.